Hey guys, Alex here with this Clubhouse, and in this video I want to talk a little bit about how your home might be detrimental to your health. Depending on how your home is built, a home can be either kind of neutral to your health, good for your health, or just downright bad for your health. And one big reason why I got into what I do now, designing, building, and consulting on how to build non-toxic, healthy homes, is because I got sick living in moldy, dusty, old apartments and homes growing up and after college. I got really bad asthma and really bad sinus problems from mold toxicity. And so I really understand and appreciate the importance of living in a healthy dwelling. It can really cause a lot of problems, neurological issues, breathing issues, all kinds, like a whole array of health issues can be caused by mold and toxic off-gassing. There's a lot to learn about how to build a healthy home. It's more than just, how do you build the foundation, how do you put the walls up, how do you put the roof up. You got to really think about the building as a whole system. It's like a holistic system, and how it interacts with the outside environment and how the indoor environment is created. So there's a lot that goes into it. But I just want to touch on basically two things in this video. How to avoid mold growth in your home, and how to avoid toxic off-gassing chemicals. So the modern conventional home has a lot of mold issues and a lot of chemical off-gassing issues. For example, like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, water penetration into homes is one of the major causes of building failure. And it's also one of the major causes for mold in homes. And so that's why I don't build like a conventional home style, because it's just a big super problems, breeding ground for mold. For example, mold loves drywall, loves fiberglass insulation. That's just like cotton candy for mold. It loves it. It'll just grow in there really easily because it gets wet, saturates, and doesn't dry out easily. And water's always going to penetrate into a conventional style home, really at some point. And that fiberglass insulation in the walls and the ceiling and the drywall, the walls, that stuff's going to mold eventually. So I just like to avoid that stuff entirely. For example, this building I'm in right here, this is about 80% complete, but you can still see the bare walls. These are actually straw clay walls. They have a high hydric buffering ability, so if any water does manage to penetrate into the walls, this clay can absorb that water and then pretty quickly re-release that water. These walls, interior and exterior, will be covered with a lime plaster, which is also antibacterial, antimicrobial, antifungal. So basically these walls are going to be pretty much mold and fungus proof by the end. The only thing that could potentially mold would be some of the framing, only if it was really exposed to high levels of water and saturated, overload of water saturation, which is not likely for this structure, because I put the proper foundation and drainage systems under and around this building, and the roof has proper drainage as well. So yeah, it just all works as a system together. But yeah, those two things, if you can avoid mold in your home and the off-gassing chemicals like paints, all the paint they use in modern homes is highly toxic. Carpet is a really bad thing. Avoid carpet at all costs if you can. It's breeding ground for mold, very hard to clean, and it's toxic. That stuff off gases like crazy, especially when it's brand new. So I would not recommend carpet at all. Concrete, you can put wood over concrete, you can use tile, but avoid the carpet if you can. That's one of the worst. So yeah, like in this building, got the concrete floor, the straw clay walls. This could be cob walls, adobe walls, rammed earth, hempcrete even. All those wall systems are going to be very anti-mold growth. And then in the ceiling here, there's no fiberglass insulation. It's actually a hemp insulation. This stuff is really good. I like this stuff a lot. It doesn't get wet easily, just kind of wicks water off of it. If it did get wet and saturated, it dries out a lot faster. Again, I have proper ventilation in the roof itself, so if it did somehow get wet, that insulation is going to have a draft over it pretty constantly, so it's going to dry out. Yeah, those are the two things I want to touch on in this video. They're kind of the two main things that I think about when designing a healthy home. So you could take that into consideration if you're thinking about building a home or an office building or whatever it might be. If you're going to spend time in that building, you really want to have it healthy to be in. You know, people think a lot these days about, you know, organic food and, you know, eating healthy and using like natural organic body products and soaps and things, but people still don't think about living in a healthy home. You know, the buildings you actually spend time in have an effect on your health too. It's not just all the food in the outdoor environment. The indoor environment's very important too, and can have a really big impact on your health, either positive or negative. So before I start rambling on more in this video, I'm going to cut it there. If you guys have questions, please leave them below in the comment section, and I'll try to get to you shortly. Thanks for watching.